Assalamu alaikum. So I have a guy at work, his name is Manzurul Islam. He asked me a very good question. Ustad, when you're revising Quran and you are making mistakes, so you pick up a Quran and you're reading by heart, and you make mistakes, and you don't even know that you're making mistakes, how are you supposed to cancel these mistakes? I think that's a very valid question. You pick up a Quran and you read, looking into Quran, you're very less likely to make mistakes. But if you close the Quran and you're revising, how would you know if you're making a mistake? And if you are making mistakes, how are you supposed to know and how are you supposed to fix that? So today, allow me to answer this question for all of you. Bismillah. When you're memorizing Quran, guys, there are two things that you gotta pay attention to. One, it's called revision, and one is sabaq. Okay? Now, revision is something that you have memorized in the past and you're no longer memorizing it, you're just revising it to keep it in your mind. Sabaq tend to be something very short and it is something that is new. Sabaq, as it gets old, it becomes your revision. Keep that in mind. Now, the question was about what? Was about revision. And he was asking that if I am revising and I'm revising, how would I know if I'm even making mistakes? And if I am, how am I supposed to correct that? Now, here's the thing, guys. If your revision is weak, then you are going to be making a lot of mistakes in your revision. You would know some of them and you wouldn't know some of them. How would you know that you're making mistakes? You're revising. Ask your mom, can you listen to my one page? She said, yes. You read to her and she tells you you have one mistake. Now you know that you have that mistake. How long is it going to stay in your mind? You're going to forget that mistake in a few days' time. Yes, you're going to forget it. For how long are you going to remember that your mom told you have a mistake here, specifically here? That's one. Here is another example. I used to get my mom to test me a lot sometimes. And the reason is because my mom, she used to catch my mistakes. I used to like my friends testing me in the Madrasa. Why? Because I know when my friend tests me, they don't catch a lot of my mistakes. Yeah? So that's another type of revision. So one is that you're revising and someone is actually catching your mistake. The second is you're revising and no one is catching your mistakes. In both cases, the problem is that
it's your fault at the end of the day. Yeah? You're going to read to the teacher and teacher's going to say to you, why didn't you revise properly?
So what can you do? Boys and girls, if I be very honest with you, I had this problem when I reached almost Surah Al Munafiqun and I have memorized 13 juz from Quran. 13 multiplied by 2, this is how much, 260 pages. This is how much I knew of Quran, almost half of Quran. I realize I have a lot of mistakes. My friends don't correct those mistakes, my mom doesn't catch these mistakes. I myself didn't know that I was making these mistakes. How did I know? I relied on something, and this thing is very powerful, and I've been saying it, but sometimes you just have to say things differently for people to hear it. By the way, do you guys like my car? Listen to me, guys. What I did, I started listening to Quran. Listen to me. And I started listening to a reciter, and he was reciting Sheikh Muhammad Ayub, and he was reciting Surah Yasin. And I heard his recitation. And I realized that a lot of mistakes that I make when I am revising, I wasn't aware of it. Let me just explain. So I would look into Quran and read, and I'm still making mistakes. A student, my mom, someone would test me and they would not catch those mistakes. So when I heard the Sheikh reciting, I realized, hold on a second. And I heard it again and I said, whoa, is this really like this? أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الْإِنسَانُ. End of Surah Yasin. I used to read أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الْإِنسَانَ. Hold on a second, Sheikh is reading Insanu. I open the Quran, oh, it's Insanu. So what I realized from there is that if I rely on my listening, it's almost impossible for a Sheikh to make mistake when he's reciting Quran, because most of these recordings, they are checked. But if I hear something and I realize that Sheikh is not reading like I'm reading, I know that's a mistake. And if I listen to the Sheikh again and again and again and again and again, attentively, then I would come to this conclusion. The conclusion is insanu, it's not insana, because I'm listening to him again and again and again. Yeah? But here's the thing, guys. I couldn't catch these mistakes myself. My mom wasn't able to catch it myself. My friends would sometimes catch, sometimes wouldn't. So, listening is your tool number one. Listen.
And listen attentively. Some of you guys don't listen. You just play and then you just looking around, looking on your phone. No, you gotta look. You gotta pay attention. Listen attentively. Even if you're not looking to Quran, some people are with the finger. Very good. Even if you're not listening to Quran, if you're not pointing at Quran, you gotta listen attentively.
Tool number one. Tool number two. If you have a lot of mistakes in your revision, then there is a serious problem in your sabaq. Between sabaq and revision, there is something called pre-sabaq. Yeah? PS, pre-sabaq. Pre-sabaq are, depending on the teacher who's teaching you, last 10 pages that you have learnt. And it can be, for example, you're learning Surah Yasin and you are on the last page. How many pages Surah Yasin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are on page number 6. So that's your sabaq, yeah? Page number 1 to page number 5 is your pre-sabaq. Some teachers would say the previous surah, the surah before that surah is also pre-sabaq. Now listen to me. If you have a lot of mistakes in your revision, this is an indication that either your teacher is not catching your mistakes in the sabaq, or either whoever is testing you in pre-sabaq is not catching all your mistakes, and so you have a weak revision full of mistakes. You know, they say prevention is better than cure. I wish I applied this in my own life before I'm telling you guys about this, How can you not have a weak revision full of mistakes? So then you deal with it. You go to this doctor, that doctor, you call a teacher from Egypt, you get a teacher listen to you, this. How can you avoid all of this? You got to make sure. And if you're a teacher,
listen to me. If your student makes a single mistake in sabaq, cancel them. Tell their parents. Take their PS4 away. Tell them they cannot have dinner. I'm joking, guys, Don't be strict with your sabaq. With my students, one mistake in sabaq, cancel. Out. No, again.
Yeah, you gotta go revise it again 10 times and come back. If your sabaq is strong, your pre-sabaq is strong, you're gonna come out with strong revision. Unless you're not revising. Unless you stop revising and you say, oh no, my surahs are so good, and you get that ego thing, and it's like, no. Then you're gonna have a weak revision. Then your revision will change into weak revision after a while. Yeah, not straight away. But if your sabaq and pre-sabaq are good, if your teacher tests you and he doesn't allow a single mistake in sabaq, then yeah, you're gonna have a very strong revision later on. My teacher would not allow a single mistake in sabaq. 2 doubts, no mistakes, doubts in pre-sabaq. Revision, we were allowed to make 3 mistakes or doubts, yes, in every 10 pages. Are you guys with me? So this is a criteria. Strong sabaq, strong pre-sabaq leaves behind what? Strong revision. But if you don't revise it, then of course you're going to start making mistakes are going to start popping in from here. Doubts are going to come in your head. You don't know which ayah was before which ayah. So do this. Now the last point I'm going to mention here, and I know some of you are watching this until this minute, so well done to all of you.
Serious people, mashallah, you guys are. Listen to me.
There is one last thing that you can do with your weak revision if you want to strengthen it. Bring it back to sabaq level. Treat it like sabaq. You guys with me? Now, stop looking at the canvas there. Listen to me. What does that mean? It means you break your revision down into small pieces. You know your sabaq is like 3 lines, 4 lines, 5 lines. But whatever your sabaq is, it is so small and you focus on it so much that it's almost no mistakes. You can't make mistakes in your sabaq. You do not make mistakes in your sabaq because it is so short, small, and you read it, you focus on it. You cook it very well. You with me? It's like if this is your sabaq, it's like you read it so much. It's like there. You got grips on your sabaq. You know everything about it. because you read it so much. On the other hand, for revision, for example, there's so much that you can't. You just read it once and then that's it. Take your revision, make it into sabak, and then focus on it. Focus on it like it's a sabak. And there we go. You start dealing with your revision like this, and slowly, the surah that is weak, the surah that has a lot of mistake, the pages that are this, that, slowly they will become stronger and stronger and stronger, because you are focusing on them as if they are sabak. And if you do that with all the surahs, the weak surahs, the surahs that you make a lot of mistakes, inshallah ta'ala, slowly, yeah, boom, there you go. Your entire revision will be good again. I made a series of videos about revision. I think they're very important. Maybe one piece of advice, two, yeah. But I think if you spend 7 minutes, 10 minutes watching that video, it will give you something that inshallah ta'ala, it will save you a lot of time later on. Small minor mistakes that people make in the beginning of their Hifz journey end up costing them a lot of time, money, waste of this, waste of that. Don't do that. Fix your mistakes right from the beginning, so later on in your Hifz journey you won't have a lot of problems, inshallah ta'ala. And then you'll be wasting your teacher's time. Listen to me, test me, I need to do it. Too much worry. Yeah? Try to fix them, inshallah, right from the beginning. Allah bless you. Check out the playlist. I'm gonna leave the link in the description, and do let me know what you think of this video. Assalamu alaikum.